bring in Eamon Javers for a little more color on what was a pretty wide-ranging conversation there, Eamon.
Yeah, they can be wide-ranging in the Oval Office, and I think you guys are exactly right to spotlight this question of the president's response on the China trade deal. I thought it was emotional. I mean, the president was determined in his language and sort of mocked the idea of his critics who suggest, oh, you might have a 2-month recession as a result of this, sort of minimizing the idea that there are negative economic consequences here as just the possibility of a 2-month recession, and suggesting that he's willing to tolerate that in order to get at what he views as an absolute priority for his administration, is dealing with China. The president, I think, really hammered home just how important this issue is to him with the emotional response that we just saw him give there. And then on this issue of the payroll tax cut, the Washington Post reported this yesterday. The White House responded, sort of smacking that down, saying that's not something that's under consideration at this time. Well, it turns out that the words "at this time" were doing a lot of work in that denial, because the president here is suggesting that the payroll tax cut is something that he's looking at, something that he would like to perhaps move forward on. I asked a White House official about the discrepancy between the White House's denial yesterday and the president's comments here on tape. The White House official saying that there's a difference between wanting to implement something and just considering it, and that's why they denied it yesterday. And I said, but it looks like, the president really likes this idea. The White House official telling me the president likes a lot of ideas. So that's where we are. Follow the bouncing ball on the payroll tax cut, guys.
Another idea that came up, Eamon, that could effectively turn into policy is he says he would love to reduce capital gains taxes.
Yeah.
Is that for real?
That seems to be something. I know there was a meeting yesterday with Larry Kudlow in the Oval Office talking to the president, and they discussed a number of tax cut ideas. That seems to be one of them. But the question is, the president there asserting, it seemed to me, and we got to go back and listen to the tape, it seemed to me the president was asserting that he could index capital gains unilaterally. We've got to figure out if that's in fact the case, or whether he needs Congress to do that. It seems like almost all tax legislation has to come off the Hill. With Democrats in charge of the House up there, it seems like he doesn't have any chance of getting anything done on taxes in an election year ahead of a re-elect for him with Democrats on the Hill. So I don't know where that idea is coming from, but they are discussing a number of tax cutting ideas behind the scenes, and they're clearly looking for things that the president can do unilaterally if he can, because they're not going to be able to work with the Democrats on the Hill.
Yeah, unilaterally, and as he said, proactively, because if you have this premise that the economy is okay now, looking to forestall any weakness down the road. Eamon, thanks a lot. We will certainly talk to you soon.